Hold on. Where's my preview thing?
I don't know, but I hit record, and that means
All
we're
right.
starting the first
All right, we're
annual
running
preview.
this.
I in the midst of giving my son a bath, and Avi on his way back from work. This is the real working man's league. This is what the summer at TABC is about. The kids go off to camp, and the dads get to have a little bit of fun. And the wives, they
Cash.
either really like it and they enjoy it, or they're like, Jesus, why did I marry this guy? It's both. Every season, you don't know what it'll turn out to be, but usually it's fun. We're
It's
gonna
gonna be a
crank it
great
out. We're
time.
gonna do a quick uh uh week one preview. Should be really quick. We'll break it down with two sharp basketball minds, and let's get it rolling. All right, hold on. I'm sharing my screen. And the first game is the Nets versus the Wizards, and I'm gonna pull up these teams because I don't have them memorized by now. So we got Nets, we got Blumenthal, the Halperts, the Hellers, Mo, who had a tremendous playoff run. His brother Yosef, cousin, I'm not sure, but with the name Heller, you know he can play. And we got tough one here, a lot of size,
Oh
angle,
man.
angle, Klesnik, angle, angle, Klesnik, Mizels, Moskovich, Sagnovitz, and Alter. So that's a tough matchup for the Nets. Just off the bat, Blumenthal and Mendel are certainly serviceable bigs, certainly good players. Like certainly could play good defense. And with Heller and Halpert, you got a lot of good playing. Um, there's a
Listen,
lot of size here.
they're gonna have to run zone, and it's gonna have to be they're gonna have to learn how to play the best zone you've ever seen. The best damn two,
I'll
three
tell you what,
zone.
Avi, why don't we
It's
do this first take style? You pick a team, argue it, and I'll argue the other team.
argued for them to win.
You just pick one team, I'll argue the other team. We'll do it first take style. We're switching it up.
Okay, fine.
Who's
Um
your team? Who are you picking?
to win this game, I'm picking the
Yes.
Wizards. I'm picking the Wizards.
So tell me why.
They
Break it
got
down.
they got Victor Wemby in Tiny Angle, and he's not rookie Victor Wemby. He's experienced. He's not coming in as a small pup and trying to learn the role. He's an experienced vet who's already won a championship, and then he's paired himself with another tower in Moskovich, and then you got Mizels. They're running it back with Saknovich. Um, they got Klesnik, who's you got some outside shooting. You got Mizels, who's running points, so they have continuity from last year. Then you're adding some talent in Klesnik, who everyone didn't really know about, and they got him pretty late. Ethan Alter, who is a great guard and kind of plays that role hustle player where he could also he also has some range. So you got Ethan, you got Mizels, you got Klesnik who can all shoot. Then you got size. This team is going to be really tough to beat, and I think even if the Nets play a perfect game, they're not going to win this game.
Okay. Now it's my turn. Skip Bayless Terrell is what they're calling me now. I'm going to argue the other thing. What we're forgetting about, well, Tiny Angle is certainly a proven entity in this league. Won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and the championship, which has never happened before, and I would argue will never happen again. But this year's Wizards isn't the same team as last year's Suns. Let's not forget that Mizels, as great as he is, which he is, very great, was a player who came off the bench on that Suns team. And on this team, all while talented, I'm not disagreeing anything you said, with all the pieces, it's going to be a tougher fit, I think, adjusting off of game one with two bigs instead of the 1.5, with Markovitz could kind of play, forward, kind of stretch a little bit. Lot of packed in paint with both Moskovich and Angle, which could be a benefit if you're pounding it inside. Could also be tough on the spacing. What if Klesnik and what if Mizels and what if Alter are getting pressured and pressed, forced to be uncomfortable? You got guys like Mo Heller, excellent defender against a guy like Mizels. Like that's the kind of guy you want Mo Heller guarding. He's strong. He's a fire hydrant. He's Brunson light. He's like Brunson, right? You have R.A. Halpert, certainly an A1 defender. Mo Heller can get to the free throw line. If he could get Moskovich or Engel into foul trouble early, right now, and they could put pressure on the guards with Halpert, with Heller, with the other Heller. They could sneak out and get an early steal of a win. I think you have a lot of veterans on this Nets team and a lot of guys that with I think they're going to come in knowing what they are and knowing their roles. Where I think I certainly look. It's hard to argue this one. I chose to pick the other team for a purposeful reason. I obviously think this Wizards team is an A1 contender. But if I was a team like the Nets, I certainly could come in and try to steal one, try to get Moskovich out of the paint, put him in high pick and rolls with Heller getting downhill. Going to put 5 shooters on the floor with Blumenthal. Right, Mendel's a good shooter, so we could get Angle out of the paint and get Heller going downhill with Moskovich having to guard Heller coming off the pick. We have something. We have something there. I mean, it's on Blumenthal and Mendel to rebound against Angle, and Blumenthal is going to need to hit the 10 to 15-foot shot because Angle's not going to let anything at the basket. They're going to need to stretch the bigs out. But if I'm going to pick the Nets, I think this is a team that if Heller could get to the line and they could force some turnovers against the Wizards with the young guards that like to play a certain style that's apropos to the bigs that I think like to play a certain style, that could be something that the Nets could sneak a win. Though, if I was picking unbiasedly, I think you're right. I think this Wizards team is completely stacked to the gills and is like contend in the JBA A League. And but look, I picked Nets to lose.
I don't know about A League. I don't know about A League,
I
but
think
they're good.
they could play in the A League.
They can lose in the A League, sure.
Yeah,
They can play.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
fair
I
enough.
don't think they're making the playoffs in the A League. I think they'll maybe take a couple games. Good team though. Let's move
Good
on.
team. Nuggets, Blazers. So that's oh God. Am I gonna have to fight for the Nuggets here? Is that the team that I think they are?
Who do you think they
Nets,
are?
Nuggets, Foreman, Heidemann. Oh no, they're not. It's not the team I thought they were. It's
You thought it was
Heidemann.
Burry?
Yeah,
Burry's
no,
not
no,
Nuggets
no. I
again.
know we're playing Bury.
Burry's Spurs.
Nuggets, Blazers. So the Blazers are it's Moshe Kellis. Oh, the Weinberger team versus this Seth Foreman, Aaron Hyman, Josh Klein, David Markovitz, Ellie North, Isaac Shiven, Ethan Wallfish versus who you got? Who you taking?
It's Wallfish team versus what was the other team?
Weinberger.
Weinberger. I got
Who are you
Wallfish
picking?
here, and I'll tell you why.
Oh,
Because
please,
I think
please. You gave me a
I
gift. Go.
I know I did because I know you're so pro Weinberger and how they form their teams. It's their continuity. That's how you like it. I'll tell you what I like. I like talent and depth. All right. You got Heidi, who may be coming off the bench. If he's not coming off the bench because he's coming off an injury, then Wallfish is coming off the bench, who could legitimately average 15 points per game in this league. He is an amazing shooter. They have Newarth, who I've heard really good things about. Just a lot of players who can put the ball in the basket. They have Josh Klein. Their shooting is ridiculous. They have probably the best shooting in the league by far, and then they have a big in David Markovich who can handle his own. And it's not like they're playing someone like the Wizards where you need the bigs to really be big. You're playing another team who is similar size to you, and they have people who they have guards who could also board. Wallfish is about 6 feet 6'1". I don't see the height on the other guys, but I know Heinemann's a good defender. Um, everyone can hang. Um, and then they have Schiffman leading it all, who I heard was a stud. I don't know much about him. I haven't seen him play. I'm really looking forward to it. If he's leading this charge, and then you got shooters who you can spread with Wallfish, Klein, Heidemann also can take point, and North. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but these guards can play, and I'll take that depth. I'll take the depth all
Not
day,
only are you
every
not
day.
pronouncing it right, but you're not picking it right. You gave me a gift, and I was begging you to take the right picks in the first week, and you handed me a gift. Isaac Schiffman is an A1 player, but you know who his cousins are? And you know who his mentors are? And the guys who
I do
taught him
not.
everything he knows about basketball? Alex and Moshe Kelson, who'll be out there looking for little cousin's lunch money. They're coming in. They're going to put pressure on. They got Ethan Wallfish. He could average 15 at a game. Sure, and I love playing with Wallfish. He's a knockdown shooter. But guess what? They better be 5 open threes because Wallfish likes to shoot. And I'll tell you what this Weinberger team does not give up is easy baskets. They have the number one predicator for early season success in all of basketball, which is what? You said it before, consistency. I think the Weinbergers have played now for 7 years with basically the same core, and every season they come up winning week one, winning week two, and even winning week three on a lot of years before teams kind of, the years where they get really good, they realize with the talent they have and they go very far in the playoffs. And the years where it didn't work out, teams figure them out. But one thing has stayed consistent. The Weinbergers always win week one. They got Alex Kelson. They got Mo Kelson, 2 winners. They got
Let
Donnie
me
Dove and Yosef. And wait, they got Gabe Sklar, who will be the best player on the floor. So
really.
they have the best player on the floor. They have Alex Kelson, who is the evolved Pokemon form of Isaac Schiffman. He's the Charizard to the Charmeleon. And Aaron Heidemann, while great, is coming off an ACL tear that kept him out of basketball for a year and a half. They don't have the kind of size that would punish this team. They match up kind of perfectly. Give me the Smash House Trailblazers. Weinbergers ain't letting me down.
You're saying Sklar is the steal of the draft, pretty
I think
much.
Sklar, from what I've heard, was an absolute steal. From what I've heard, I've never seen him play. I think Ari Skylar is the steal of the draft because I think he's even better, and he played at YU, and apparently he's a pickup legend. Sometimes you have a guy at YU, doesn't get a lot of minutes, but on the pickup court, he's amazing. I was like that. I didn't get a lot of minutes at YU. I played
I,
great in
I was gonna
pickup.
say,
It's
sounds
continued on.
familiar.
Sounds very familiar. Yeah,
Sounds very
exactly.
familiar.
Yeah. Shia Weiss, I don't think played a minute till his senior year. He's one of the best pickup players I've ever seen. Sometimes you get that. I heard Ari Skylar is one of those guys, so I think he is. But Gabe Sklar, from everything I've heard, is great. And the matchup here with the Nuggets. Now I
Let
think
me
the
ask you.
Nuggets.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Is there a breaking point to this Weinberger setup, or you think
No,
this
I
can work?
think no, I don't.
At what point does it end? At what point is it too much?
I think that if you want me to be honest, they're going to be mad at me. But I think the point for them to win a championship passed because I think the
Okay.
league got really good and it's hard to stick to the same core that was a contender 4 years ago without major mashups. Now, they made the finals, and you could argue that they picked the wrong second pick. This was 2, 3 years ago. They could have had Simon Brukim. They took Nolan Block. I think they took the right pick because I think Nolan Block fit what they were trying to do better. I told them to take Block. They made the finals. They lost to a really good Spurs team. They went really far. They had another year where they were the 1 seed the whole year. They were undefeated. Then Moskovich got hurt before the playoffs. Sometimes you get unlucky. Weinberger was gunning to trade up to the second pick. Had he done that and gotten Gabe Geller, had gotten myself, had gotten, man, I got to look at the list. But one of the A1, guys additionally, I think he did a good job getting Kelson and Sklar and Lair and all those guys. You know, you talk about winning a championship. It's hard. It's not easy, and it's only going to get harder as the league gets better. And Weinberger will be the first to tell you that this year might be the last year, next year might be the last year, every year might be the last year. But at the same time, one thing you can't really replace is consistency. And if we're talking about week one, this team matches up with the Nuggets well. They got the consistency. They're going to take it. Whether or not they go deep in the playoffs, it depends how good Gabe Sklar is. If Gabe Sklar
Right.
is as good as everyone says he is, they're going to do really well. If he's even better, they may be a contender. It's not like I'm saying that the time has passed because it's really hard to win a championship. I'm not saying it because they don't have the ability to do so. All of those guys do. They're winning players and they play winning basketball. It's just very hard to do it. And they have to, because they're so tied down to a roster construction, they have to hit gold. I mean, absolute platinum on their 2 or 3 picks that aren't in their preconceded guys. That's not always easy. You have to zag a lot of the times and shift what you're trying to do in a draft format. But if you had this squad with like two guys added on that were like a perfect fit, yeah, of course it could work. It's just hard. It's hard to win a championship.
Right.
It's definitely hard when you're tied down to a construct. But we'll see.
All right.
Moving on to the next one, we got all right, Spurs and the Warriors. Well, I'm not arguing the Spurs. We're both going to argue Warriors, but I'm not even. Do you want to do this one, or we
I
move
want to,
on?
I want to, I want to skip. I want to argue for. Yeah, you know what? I want to skip it.
Neither of
Let's
us are
skip it.
arguing the other team.
Let
It's not
Let's
going to
skip it.
happen.
Yeah.
Not arguing the other team. You're not going to catch
We
me
have we
dead.
we have our game plan. We're ready for week one.
Suns, Timberwolves. Well, this was easy. We got Bookbinder, Gartenberg, Schwartz,
Ay,
Siegel,
ay.
Sudworth, Whites versus
Yeah, we
Benheim,
have
Drazen,
we
Drazen,
have some
Shabir.
unfortunate news for this one.
So go ahead. Who you picking, and then you could drop the news.
It's Suns versus who?
Versus the brother team.
I mean, the Suns are a brother team. No, yeah, they are. The two books.
It's Benheim versus Bookbinder.
The Bendheim. Yeah. So I don't know
I think
how.
Least Co is a good name because they're the least talented team. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sorry.
Sure,
I'm
sure,
sorry. I don't
sure.
know. I don't know.
But it's a great leasing company as
Yeah,
well.
it's great. Go
Uh,
ahead. Go ahead.
anyway, anyway, the problem is
Who
that
you picking?
Gardenberg got injured. We don't know the severity of it yet. But he was playing in a game with us, and something went wrong with his heel, and it's a really unfortunate news because he's finally worked himself back from an ankle injury that's bugged him for
That
a
kept him
year
out of
plus
here.
now. Yeah, a year plus now. So really, really unfortunate, sad to see. Hopefully he gets better soon. I don't know if they're getting a replacement player or not. Didn't hear anything about that. But without Gardenberg, and if they're going with their six, I mean, they lose a lot of size there. Um, Bendheim, they got a lot of size. Um,
Who are you picking?
it's gonna be a lot closer. Who am I picking this game? Do you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I give me Bendheim's. I think that's like, you think it's crazy, but I like the chemistry effect. Um,
My
and
God. Okay, go ahead.
and they
Let's
got
hear it.
and I think they'll just muck up this game. And I think without Gardenberg, they have the two books. Who else do they have on this team?
Ellie Sudworth's maybe the best player in the
Yeah,
league.
they have Sudworths. Yeah, if they can
You already
stop
picked the
Sudworths
least co
with the
T-Wolves. You
if
got to defend it.
if they can stop Sudworths, which they have the tools to stop him and muck up the game, I think this is a prime game for them to steal.
So that's why you're picking the T-Wolves. All right, so let me go that now. I concede to you that the first game you're probably going to get right, but you just gave me another easy win for Jack. And if we put a case of soda or a case of beer on who's going to get more picks every week, man, I'm rolling this week. Yes, Skartenberg's injured, and yes, there's worried about Ori Schwartz's ability to last a full season playing basketball. All right, come on, baby. My son's done with the bat. But needless to say, even without Gartenberg, the Bookbinder team still has two bigs, a center in Benjamin Bookbinder, and a swing 3-4 in Yochanan Bookbinder. Both guys, great high IQ basketball players, don't need the ball to be effective, can catch and shoot, can defend. Both of them were all defense guys last season. In addition, we know Jeremy Siegel. He could put points on the board. He's talented, but like, what are we forgetting about? They have Ellie Sudworth. They have the best player in the floor. The guy was first team all defense, MVP for the Nets last season, could possibly be the best player in the league. Is Jalen Brunson, plays just like him, and they had the best player. Like, they had the best player with wings and shooting. And even without Gardenberg, who takes away, I think, their advantage, which is the height. On the other side, where are you getting? They don't really have a point guard. They don't really have a go-to scorer. They have a lot of defenders and a lot of role guys, but they knew what they were doing. They just wanted to play with their family, and they're going to have fun playing with their family. But I don't think they have the requisite offensive firepower they really would need to muck it up because they're asking Sam Benheim, who won a championship contender, which was the Raptors a couple seasons ago. He was the third option. When Rafi Mitnick went out, Mikey Mitnick was the first option and Sam was the second option. They came up short. He now has to be the first option, right?
What out the
Charlie
other
Benheim,
what out the there's a who is it? The Ben Times? It's J Shap and then who's the other two in the starting five?
the Drazen brothers, the hockey guys, excellent hockey players. I think they made the Final Four at YU floor hockey. I was in marketing class with one of the, I think it was Ari Drazen. Great guy, great dudes. Maybe they'll be mad at me. I don't think so. I think we're all kind of friends and know we're sticking it up here. But give me the Suns. Give me the Suns. This is an easy one.
Do they not have a point guard? Drazen's can't
No,
none of them can play point.
they don't have a point guard. Charlie Benheim's the point guard. Maybe
All
Ephraim
right, so
Sachs because he
they
sounds like Ephraim
oh
Botwinick.
Sachs is on the team.
Yeah.
So I heard he could play point. I heard he
Ah,
can play point.
I
We'll see. It's gonna be
I
have
think
to
the
be a
Suns win.
muck
I
up
don't
game.
think Gardenberg. The difference between these two teams is an injured Gardenberg. I don't think the
Fair
difference
enough.
between these two teams
Fair enough.
is 8 points and 6 rebounds. 8 points, 8 rebounds. I don't think that's
You
going to
know
be the
what?
difference in this
I
game.
still like the upset. I have my trust in the Benheims. I think they're phenomenal defensive
They're
stoppers.
great. They're
And
phenomenal defensive players.
if anyone's gonna stop, they gotta stop just
No, nothing.
Sudwards and Book. And that's it. So if they can stop these two guys and win by scoring 35 points, give me the muck game.
You know what? You make a very compelling case, and I give you credit for it because I thought it was going to be very hard to pick the T-Wolves, but you made a really compelling case.
And I did it.
Yeah, that was good. Celtics, Knicks. We're going to play basketball. I'm finishing up the podcast, though. I put on your underwear.
Listen, tonight it's very hard to pick against the Knicks, but let's see who's on the team.
Yep, Celtics. We got Uden Appliance Celtics. We got the Chesners. You like this team. Rafi Mitnick, Joe Klein, all that, those guys, and the Knicks. Oh man, Jesus. This one's an easy pick. But go ahead. Who you got?
It's crazy to pick the Knicks here. I really want to pick the Knicks because of tonight, and I don't want any bad juju, so I'm going to stick with my gut and pick the Knicks. So I'm
Oh my
picking the
gosh.
Knicks.
You're giving me 3 wins this week. You're
I'm
handing it
picking
to
the
me.
Knicks. Picking the Knicks. We got game 3 starting in 40 minutes. I'm picking the Knicks.
Give
Okay?
me one good reason why. Give me a basketball reason why we're taking the Knicks and what they got to do to win this game.
Okay. For one thing, I know that they're going to control the ball better than the Celtics because they have Ian Bromberg and Jake Greenberg. They have two of the better point guards in the league. They have also the two of the better defensive point guards in the league. And if Mason shows up in good health and he can move, then
You
they
mean
got some
not being
outside
hit by a car?
and they got outside shooting. So if he's rehabbed a bit and he's back to himself, I'm confident in Mason to get the job done. And I've heard a lot of good things about Svi Motekin, who is a borderline first rounder, high second rounder player who paired up with Mason Wedgel and these defensive point guards who can control the game. Then I think they can win this game against a team who maybe has more talent on paper, but I like to pick a team that has the point guards and the ability to control a game.
So, oh, nice shot, Nazi. My son's splashing threes in his room. He's hitting J's all day. Good shot. You just went against yourself because you just picked a team that could muck it up and make it really difficult. I mean, pick for a team that could muck it up and make it difficult. And now you're picking against a team that is even better at mucking it up and making it difficult. Evan Chesner, Josh Chesner, and Rafi Mitnick all won a championship together 4 years, the season after COVID, which other than this season could arguably be the most talented this league's ever been, as everybody in New York was playing in the league because it was the only league open post-COVID. And they won a title. So they have that experience together. Additionally, if you were going to pick a guy to guard Mason Wedgel, even if he was healthy, which I'm not sure he's back to 100% himself. We'll see. He had a serious accident last season. Like, oh, nice shot. It wasn't a joke. But Rafi Mitnick is the perfect guy that you want to put on Mason. He's got the foot speed to stay in front and the physicality to make things really annoying. And additionally, with Josh Chesner's length and Evan Chesner's speed, they got guys that could bug and make it difficult for non-shooting fast point guards like Jake Greenberg and Ian Bromberg. And it's just week one. I don't know. It was Svi Modicin is apparently really soft, seeing really good. I think there's a lot more questions on the Knicks tonight on how they're going to fit chemistry wise because they haven't played before. In addition, as opposed to the Celtics who have played before for the most part, right? Barry, Chesner, Joe Klein, and Rafi Mitnick. These are guys that have all played together. They know what they are. They know what it takes to win. They know how to win a title together, right? These are all vets. I look at the other side, Modicin, young. Greenberg, young. Isaacs, young. Bromberg, young. Mason, veteran. But we got 4 point guards. Guys never played before against a team that has a lot of chemistry, has won a championship, has the size, has the defense, has the veteran leadership. I think that's a no-brainer. Give me Celtics.
Okay.
Plus, they
I'm just
got
gonna
more
give.
size.
I'm just gonna give a quick counter that they have Ian Bromberg, the glue guy of the year from last year, who can bring this team together, and is it more of a do-it-all player than just a point guard that doesn't have such an outside shot. That's true. He's not an outside shooter.
But neither is
That's why I'm
Noah
hoping
Isaacs,
that's
and neither is Jay Greenberg so much. Like, I'm talking about a knockdown shooter. They can obviously hit
right.
open
So
threes.
yes, that's why for threes, I'm hoping that Svi steps up. So if Svi's able
So
to
then
step
that means
up,
they're
and then
going to need to
also
get shots at the basket, except the other teams are bigger. I'm taking the
yeah, yeah,
Celtics. Give me
not
three.
not saying it's going to be an easy game.
God, I thought you were going to make this difficult for me, having to pick teams that
Let's
I
see.
don't think
Let's
we're going to
keep
win. You
let's
made
keep
this
track.
easy.
Let's make sure
Jazz
we keep track.
Mavericks. Yeah, got it.
Let's make sure we keep track
Jazz.
of this.
Jazz, we got the
There's
Reinhardt team.
a lot of talk, and let's see if you back it up.
Yeah, that's true. All right, it's Johnny Levine and Schmoozy Rosen versus the Reinhardts. Let's hear it. Who you got?
Johnny Levine and Schmoozy versus the Reinhardts.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Caesar Suleimanov, who's 6'2". All of the Levine brothers. Schmoozy, Johnny.
you know what my issue is? I don't know how good these Levine brothers are. So I'm like going in blind a bit because if they're anywhere close to Johnny, this team is electric.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it's true. But
so
if they
so
stink,
let me
like
so
if they're the Matt Reinhardt to
I'm gonna
Johnny's
pick John.
Jack Reinhardt, they're great. But if they're the Michael Reinhardt to Jack Reinhardt, you know what I'm saying? Like, not as good.
You know what? I if you're giving me first pick here, I got to go Reinhardt's because the Reinhardt's are a known commodity. And then even though Skylar or Sklar or however you pronounce his name is, someone needs to correct us because we're clearly not saying it right. This guy fell. Who's there for? Who else they have? Joe Rosen,
Isaac
and then
Strulowitz, Joe
and then they got
Rosen.
Strulowitz to round out with some size. Yeah, the Reinhardt's they're not gonna whip them, but they're gonna. I think they're going to do their thing, and Jack and Maddie, they'll be able to defend the other team's best players. They'll be able to do a good job on Johnny. I think Jack will do a good job, keeping him contained. I don't know about the other Levine bros, but Schmoozy, obviously another electric player. But you got Maddie, and I'm hoping this YU kid can play some defense. So let me take the Reinhardts here.
Yeah, we damn. I mean, this one was an easy pick. I think you're gonna get this one right because I think this Reinhardt team is constructed perfectly with Jack, Matt. Then you have the perfect role player
I love that they have size this year, and they have a third running mate.
and
Where
they got Joe Rosen. By the way,
last year
Joe
they
Rosen.
didn't really last year
Go
they
ahead.
didn't really have any help because it just felt like Mikey missed all the games. So it's just like them two against everyone. Now they have a ton of help. This is it's just a difference of more of a deeper squad, which I always say, give me the deep team. If you look at the Knicks last year versus this year, it's a lot deeper. Obviously, different coach, but deeper teams usually do better in this league.
No, they also have Joe Rosen who plays like an '05 Joe Johnson. He plays like the KCP that was the third or fourth best player on those Nuggets championship teams, the Lakers championship teams. Like he's an excellent swing two guard. Um, we're gonna play basketball, buddy. But I'm here to pick the other team that you're not picking. And if there's one thing that Reinhardt teams have not had in the past is 80-point games, 90-point games, high level scoring, right? Jack is the 4-time defensive player of the year. Matty gets all first team defense every year. Skylar, unknown. You know what Levine and Rosen can do? Electric scoring. And I'm banking. I mean, I've said I was going to zag on all your zigs, but I'm banking that these Levines, if they are like the Matty kind of brother or the Jack kind of brother to Johnny's Ryan, then this team is really good. Like, whoa, like, look out. There's a bunch of guys here. Got Schmoozy, got Johnny. Their path to win. Okay, obviously, I think the Reinhardt team's going to win. I don't think it's close. I think the Reinhardt team is just too perfectly constructed with egos,
I think I
leadership,
think it's
guys who've
closer.
done it.
It's closer than you think. It depends on these Levine Bros, and it depends on Suleimanov.
Oh, and they have Caesar. You have Caesar who's done it twice in 2 years. You got Rosen, Sulamanov. And
Yeah,
we both
Caesar. Yeah,
know as good as
I mean,
anybody.
Caesar's a real guy.
When
That's
Johnny gets hot, nobody can stop him. He's the most electric scorer this league's ever seen. When he gets hot, it's like Steph Curry circa 2015. Like when you're like, whoa, Curry has like 6 threes in the first half against Sacramento. Change the channel. That's Johnny Levine. And when Johnny Levine gets hot, he's got Caesar, who's a winner, Schmoozy, who can get hot like him, and Sulamanov is a big. I think this team's going to come out with firepower. And
I think
Johnny
it's a
is out here
close
to make
game.
a.
I
He's
think
out
it's gonna
here
be
to
a
make a
close game, but I
statement this
still
year.
got Reinhardt's.
Fair. I got to argue the other side. And I think
Yeah,
Johnny's here to make a statement because he's only had one season with a winning record. That was last year where he was not the captain. This year he's the captain. He's the man. He's out here to make a statement. There's no bigger statement than dropping 45 on the four-time defensive player of the year. 4 years, 4 DPOYs, Jack Reinhardt. If Johnny comes out and makes that statement, that's what it's made for. So we'll see.
all right. That's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah. Oh, nice, Nati. Oh, look out! You're okay. You're okay. He just
By
dunked
the
it in
way,
there.
I think we should mention that
Yeah.
that this podcast is sponsored by No and Co. With their Midtown office, and we know basketball, they know office. So
Office spaces for any office space you
get
need,
your
go to
office
Noah and Co.
spaces.
Grizzlies Kings. The JJ Zackheim Herman Friedman team
Very interesting.
versus the Fuhrer, Kamenetsky, Rami Leifer, Ike Prieser, Yoel Schreier.
Yikes!
Who you got?
It's a tough to make an argument on the other side of this one. I mean, I
I'm
guess
going
you
to do my
can.
best.
Do you want to start?
No, I'm saying I'm zagging every time.
You're gonna zag every zig, okay?
I'm
I
flexing
mean,
my debate muscles a little bit. You never know if
okay.
First Take will ever call me.
Think I think it's as simple as it gets. I think one team picked the friends and the other team picked the talent. So even though one team maybe has more chemistry and the other team they're gonna have to work on that, I'm gonna pick the talent because the talent completely overshadows the chemistry in this one. And give me JJ, who's going to put up 25 a game. Give me Herman, who can easily put up 20 a game. Give me Friedman, who can put up 15 a game. And then the Nats, who can play some defense. And I think they even have more players on top of that. Who else do they have?
Itai Gutman,
And then
6'3".
Itai Gutman.
Sammy
Then they
Nat.
got some size. And they got some
Sammy
size in
Nat.
Gutman and Rubin. So they have everything you need on paper. The only issue is if it translates to the court. So obviously, yeah, the what they're gonna have to figure out is who's gonna be the alpha, who's gonna be the one that takes the closing shot, who's gonna be the one that stops a run. Is it gonna be JJ? Is it gonna be Herman? Is it gonna be Friedman? They're gonna have to figure that out. I think it should be JJ. But if they have that hierarchy and they all buy in, this team's going to go far, and I think it's going to be a wallop. It's going to be a 30-plus point victory.
Nazi, where you going? Where you going, buddy? Yeah, we're playing. I want to see you shoot. I like seeing you shoot. I'm talking about how good you are. Okay, do your 3 shots. How about shot and take 2 steps back? All right, after
That's good.
this, after
That's
I'm
good.
done with the
That's good
pod.
coaching. That's good coaching.
It is, yeah, no, we're that's what we've been doing. All right, it's time for my zag. You made a very interesting point where you said chemistry and talent. And chemistry and talent, I'm gonna say chemistry and talent. One team per talent, team per chemistry. There is no question that JJ Zackheim, Michael Herman, and Ariel Friedman might be better, might be arguably better than anybody on this team, on this Grizzlies team. I mean, Yoel Schreier is great. Whatever. You could make an argument of Friedman versus Schreier. You can make an argument Herman versus Schreier. You can make an argument JJ versus Schreier. But if you remove Schreier, those three guys are better than anybody on paper, talent wise, as the Grizzlies. But we forget one thing. It's called basketball and not basketballs. There's one ball on the court. This team has guys who love to score. JJ is the best scorer in the league. Herman might be number 2, and Friedman might be number 3. But the problem is, unlike a team where you have Durant, Harden, and Irving, a guy like Harden is a distributor. A guy like Irving had experience playing as a number 2, as an off guy who doesn't need the ball in his hands. And by the way, so did Durant. And by the way, when that team played together, it didn't work, even though it did work when they played together. I'm not going to go through it. None of these guys on this team thus far, with the exception of Friedman, have had, I think, experience being a third option. JJ's always been one. When we won a championship with Mike Herman, who played like prime Paul Pierce during that run, and was our best player all season, he still was the leading scorer, still was the guy who had the most or second most touches. If you look at the statistics from that season, I averaged 8 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks. Avi, you averaged about 14. Marcus put in 6. Gruenberg put in 8, but Herman put in 18 a game. He is a scorer. He is an A1 lights out shooter. He is a guy who you draft him to put the ball in the basket. But you also do that with JJ, and you also do that with Friedman. Now you have Sammy Nat and Itai Gutman. When you have one ball and 3 guys that like to play together, they're going to figure it out. They're older. They're veterans. It's not 3 19-year-olds. They're going to figure it out. But I'm here to zag. If I'm picking week 1, a team that has built-in chemistry, guys who are friends, who are also great defenders, Rami Leifer, perfect guy to guard JJ. Jonathan Fuhr, first team all defense last year, perfect guy to guard Herman. You got Chasman, Schreier, 2 guys, perfect guys to guard Friedman. They can muck it up and get that team thinking about what they need to do to adjust to each other instead of having the ball flow. If there's a team that's built to make the JJ team overthink it and go, oh man, I have to adjust. It's going to be this team. Give me the team that kind of everybody knows the role and that's set into place for week 1, rather than the team that's going to have 3-star players that are going to eventually need to figure out where they fall into place. Even when we won the championship with me, with you, with Herman, with all these guys, Marcus, we started off 0-3. We needed a second to gel. Last season, when I had all those firepower, I made sure we had 3-4 preseason games before we even started. Barring that they do that, I don't think they did that. But if they don't, like this, I'm going to take the Grizzlies. I mean, I'm zagging here. I do think that the Herman team is better. I think they're going to be really good. I think they are going to figure out the one ball thing. But I think on week 1, it's a good bet to pick on the Grizzlies here.
Okay, record it.
Huh?
Noted. Put it down. Put it down. Put it in the books.
Recording it. Yeah, right now I'm up
Put
3-1,
it
but
in the
that might
books.
be 3-2. Bucks Pistons. I think this is a fun one. Okay, Bucks. Oh God, this team is good. Jesus. Oh, and so is the Pistons. I think you
2
could
good
go right.
teams.
Well, it's Ben Lulu and Marcus and those
Yeah.
guys versus
Well, we know those guys. We
versus
did a
Noah
little
Heller,
scrimmage
Ari
against them.
Minnick, Joe Siegel, Jack Wallman, and Shlomo Weisberg.
2
I'm
very
good
good
with
teams.
who are you picking? I'm good to zag or zig on either of these.
Um, Let me see. What's the Pistons again? Just read them down.
Nolan Block, Aaron Heller, Ari Mitnick, Joe Siegel, Shlomo Weisberg, Jack Wallman, and Avi Weitz.
Damn, 2. This is gonna be a tight game. This is gonna be
This
a
is the game of
very
the week.
tight game. Yeah,
This is
this
the
this is
game of the
definitely
week.
the game of the week. I would
Two A1
say
contenders.
I would say it's a pick 'em. No one's gonna have a spread here. Um, this is tough. I like the fact that the Bucks have already practiced together. I think they are a group of players that know each other well. They have that built-in chemistry. They have two Ben Lulus. They've played together a lot. They have Dube, they have Marcus, and they have
Lipner.
Dink. Yeah, Lipner short, but Dink all the same age. Then they're adding Lipner, who they already are starting to gel with because they practice together. So this team already has that. Um, they're buying in early. You know,
Yeah.
they want to play in this league. They're excited about the league. Some players just show up, it's just a weekly activity for them. They've been talking about this for months. They probably have a lit group chat where everyone's saying talking about any new rankings, any hawk that they can get their hands on. So that's a team that is living and breathing this league and a team that's going to be hot early. So give me this team to win. Give me the Bucks to win by I don't care how the smallest of margins. It could be a game winner for all I care. I think Ben Lulu's an A-plus player. He's going to run this team. Then you have Dube, who's outside shooting. You got Dink, he can guard, he can shoot from the outside, he can grab offensive rebounds. You got Marcus, obviously, big body, who in his role is a great player if he can
Former
stick to his
champ.
role. Former champ, if he can stick to his role of guarding the opposing team's best player and allow Netanel Ben Lulu to not have to use so much energy on the defensive side, then
Not the
that will allow him and Duke
Cubs.
to
Let's play.
focus on the offense. And I think they're going to do really great. Am I missing any guys on the team?
No, dude, you got him.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. I mean, you got Minnick, you got Weisberg, you got Heller. It's a crazy team. Both stacked teams. Can't go wrong either way. I just like the fact that they're young. They're gonna run. They're gonna push the pace. And oh, they got Lipner as leadership, who can settle a team down if anything is if the opposing team is making a run. So yeah, I really like this team. I really like the makeup of it. I like all the intangibles of this team. So give me the Bucks to win by 2.
Okay. Well, it's certainly not a bad pick to pick the Bucks. And I think their shooting they might be the best shooting team in the league with Dube, who's just like has the purest form, him and Herman. Two pure forms in the league, and he's a big stretch big that can play 4. And then Ben Lulu might be the second best shooter in the league. Nathaniel. His step back 3 is almost unguardable, and it's going to be something that Ari Mitnick, who's used to getting physical and not allowing drivers, is going to have to get used to because Ben Lulu is going to hit a few step backs. I promise you that. The one thing you can bet on is that Ari Mitnick's going to take away the drive, and Ben Lulu is going to hit him with a patent step back 3, and he's going to bury about 2 or 3 of them before they adjust. But let me tell you something about this Pistons team. No one block. A-plus defender. Ari Mitnick, A-plus defender. Joe Siegel, A-plus defender. Shlomo Weisberg, in terms of shot blocking and rim defender, A-minus, B-plus at his age. Obviously, in his prime was A-plus plus, but still an excellent defender, right? They have the defense and they have the offense, and you know what this team has? That I think the other team, because they're youthful and because they have guys that like to yell, is chemistry. Veteran leadership across the board, not a bunch of 20-year-olds. They have one guy in his mid-20s who's married, and I think he's married and he's mature. That's Aaron Heller, right? And then you get the rest of them, early 30s, mid-30s, smart, tough. Joe Siegel, like they got a really tough team. And I think the reason that I'm picking the Pistons is while I think Chaim Marcus might be the perfect answer for Ari Mitnick, at the same time, what does his health look like? Can he stay in front of Ari Mitnick? Is he healthy? And then additionally, with that kind of size together, the Littner, I get their guys to do that. This is honestly my take. Will cooler heads prevail with the Bucks? We had the pleasure of scrimmaging against them. And one thing that I could tell you is that when the going got tough, they started barking at each other a little bit. When you're very close and you're playing with your friends, you're almost a little bit too comfortable. You're a little bit too comfortable to say things. Go, 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 go. You're a little bit too comfortable to say things that may cross the line. You're a little bit too comfortable to go to the bathroom, to get legitimately mad at a teammate. You may get too comfortable to want to show up and then have to hang out with the guy at the movie theater the next week, go on the double date, go to the family cookout. Here's the thing. The Pistons aren't going to yell at each other, right? They're going to pick each other up. They're all guys that are older. They're a little bit more mature. And the talent level is basically the same. I think the thing that is going to win out is the maturity, especially in week one. While I think the Bucks are going to start to figure it out, and I think they're going to be extremely tough to beat, having played them and played Dube. This Pistons team has guys who've gotten it done, has veterans that do it, and I think they'll take advantage if the Bucks start to unravel. Well, I think the Bucks' talent will win them games against most teams if they start to mentally unravel. I think winning a mentally unraveled game against this Pistons team, who is one of our 4 or 5 A1 contenders, is going to be very tough. What? Yeah, come. Let's go watch the little TV. Yeah, I'll make you some water. Let's watch a little bit of TV. So that's my take.
How many more games do we have? I don't see the game schedule.
We got 2 more.
2 more? All right,
Cavs,
let's finish this sprint.
All right. Well, you have anything to say about what I was saying, or was I cohesive?
I liked what, yeah, I heard everything. I liked what you said. But the thing is, I'm banking on that. I'm banking on these guys to be old. I want Dube. I want Ben Lulu. I want other Ben Lulu. I want them to push the pace, get in transition, easy buckets.
No,
I'm
no, no.
banking on their old legs and knees to start aching by the second half. I think it's going to happen, and these young teams, they're going to take advantage.
All right, the last game. Second to last game. We have Cavs, we have Heat. We have, oh, dude, this is another great one. Alex
Cavs, I like. I
Berman,
remember their team. That's the
Avi
that's the dub.
Bernstein,
That's the
Pacey
Dub Cats.
Jacoby, Dubba Katz, Daniel Maka, Dovey Miller, Mandy Shulowitz versus um, Max Rosenblum, Eero Schneider, Avery Stepner, Ezra Selfin, Gabe Geller, and Jacob Enian. Who do you got?
And I'm going first.
You're going first.
You want to hear something crazy? I got the Cavs.
You got the
I
Cavs.
have
Oh.
I have the Cavs. And let me tell you something. I don't know anything about this Max Rosenblum guy. He's not AG's brother. He's a D2 guy. He's a 6'6". He rated himself 10. Sure, all those things are true. Could he come in and be a top 5 player in the league? Yeah, he could. I just don't know him. I'm gonna go with the guys I do know and the guys I can put my word on. All right. I know David Katz. I know Malka. I know Pacey Jacoby. Who else do they have?
They got Pacey, they got Daniel Maka, David, Mandy Shulowitz, Dovey Miller.
Is that
You
is that
there?
everyone? Yeah, is that everyone?
Alex Ben Ramon, Avi Bernstein, Pacey Jacoby, David Katz,
Okay.
Daniel Maka,
Yeah,
Dovey
yeah, yeah.
Miller, Mandy Shulowitz.
I'm now remembering. Yeah, you got Ben Ramon for some height. They're gonna have to play a 2-3. They got they got they got veteran leadership everywhere. David Katz has always put together a good team. Now it seems like it's more his team than him being picked on a team he doesn't want to be on. And he's got Malka, because I think he's the captain, right? Katz is
Yeah.
the captain. So yeah, so he handpicked this team, and there's no one with a higher IQ than David Katz. I played against him. I've been I played I've taken him in a game. So I've seen the IQ up close. It live action IQ.
Oh, sure.
I've seen the backdoor cuts. I've seen the way his footwork, his cuts, his movement just gets you buckets. All right. It may not. He's not gonna win you by his first step, by crossing you up, by running down the court and winning with his speed. He's gonna win with his mind. He's kind of like Brunson in that way, but doesn't play like him. But it's all off ball. And why is that great? That's pairing with Malka, who loves to be on ball and is a great passer. And they already have this connection. They play in Inglewood
And
every week.
Jacoby, who's on
And,
ball.
and Jacoby, exactly. So they have David, who's going to be an off-ball scorer. They got Pacey, who's going to be the on-ball scorer, and they have a distributor in Malka who's played with David for years now. So that's the consistency continuity you want to see. It's not just in a summer league once a year; it's every single week that they play together. And then they have
Yeah.
Alex Ben-Ramon with some size, and they're playing against a team who yeah, I think Stepner knows a couple of these guys, but then a couple of them he just drafted because he heard their name and knows that they're talented. I think they're going to be a good team. I think it's going to be a very good game. I saw Geller play. We played against him. He was very good. He made some tough shots. He's not as big as I thought he was, so he's more of as a forward than a center type
He's
body,
closer to 6'3".
closer to 6'3" than 6'5", I think. But Max probably has that size, and then Stepner has size, and then they have that high school point guard who should be good, but he's still a high school body, not an adult yet. He's not a full grown man, so that obviously is something to keep in mind. And I think they're going to be a good team and they're very talented. But I got this Cavs team that they're going to play a great zone and they're going to run a great half court offense. And I think they're going to IQ this way into a win.
So I love what you said about David Cass's team. You're absolutely right. You're forgetting about Avi Bernstein, who averaged 16 points a game.
Oh, I even forgot Avi Bernstein. That's how much I love this team. Forgot Avi
Yeah,
Bernstein because I'm
Bernstein
not
averaged
looking. I'm not
16
looking at
points a
the. I'm not
game.
looking at the roster right now. I love Avi Bernstein's game, and he's going to
Yeah.
add speed to this team. So not only do they have Pace who can play with pace, did that
Well,
on
David's
purpose.
also a fast player.
David's fast. I think
David
he's
plays
more of
with
like a
pace.
half court guy. I think he's more of a
No,
half
David's a
court guy.
full court guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So maybe I'm not used to it, but if that's the case, then even more so, I like this team. So they can play zone and then they can run.
Right. As you said, they have Bernstein, who could average 16 as a fourth option. You have David Katz, great. Pace Jacoby, great. Malka, great.
You got to pick the other team though. So
They
you can.
don't have size.
Nah, they
And the
don't.
one thing that this Heat team has is size in droves. And you are right. Geller is not 6'5". He is 6'3". However, Geller is not a center. He's a forward with guard ball handling, guard like, point forward ball handling. So he could bring the ball up. He could break a guy down, get to his spot, and bury the mini J. And he could do that
Got good
very
footwork.
good.
He's got good footwork for sure.
Really good footwork. He could bury the three. You can't put a guard on him because he'll take it but go right over the top. And it's tough to put a big on him because of his dribbling and his shooting. But additionally, if this team only had Gabe Geller and had a bunch of like good role guys, the Joe Kleins, the Bernstein types around him, this team would be great. But they got Max Rosenblum, who's 6'5", 230, played at Adelphi. So he's manning the paint. He's out there to gobble up offensive rebounds. Now there's two guys for Ben Ramon to guard instead of one. And then additionally, Avery Stetner's got serious size. Super high IQ. Coaches on the assistant coach at TABC, you know the Stetner gene. They're good at basketball. But it doesn't stop there. They got Silfen, who's got size, and Abinian, who's a knockdown shooter. While I think the Cavaliers are really set to have a great season, I think it's a really tough first week match because they're playing a team that has size and shooting. And the one thing that if I'm the Heat I could do is take away the shooting and take away the running away from the Cavs, force these guys to try to make layups on the Giants. And I'll tell you, the one thing that Pacey Jacoby, Bernstein, Katz, all these guys don't like to do is try to make layups against guys 6'3" and taller. It's just true. It's uncomfortable for guards to go up against the towers. So while they have the shooting, if they could take that away and take away the fast break, which they're going to be amazing at, this is a really tough Heat team. And I think Schneider off the bench is a good player. I think the Heat are one of my A1 contenders, and I'm here to pick the Heat. I think they got a lot of size, and even if they're able to get those layups, like I said, they'd have difficulty doing. Stopping a guy in the post, stopping Geller getting downhill. Offensive rebounds, fouls around the rim. Being able to force turnovers. These are all going to be things that The Heat have less questions about, the Heat kind of know where everyone slides in, where Malka and Katz play a certain way. Jacoby is Jacoby. He's a superstar. Bernstein, it's got to slide him in somewhere. Mendy Strulowitz likes to shoot. Ben Ramon, who is he? There's some questions here, and
That's
not a
my
lot of
biggest
questions.
question. That's
Not a
my
lot of
biggest.
questions. What's your biggest question?
Who is Ben Ramon? That's my biggest question of this
There's a
team.
question. That's a question right there. Can he guard? He's got to pick one, Max or Geller. Is he
They're gonna
even
have to
good
play
enough
zone.
defender?
They're gonna have to play zone. This team's gonna have to play zone a lot unless David can defend up, which I think he can.
I
But
think it's a huge
it
mistake.
also,
Yes, exactly. And you play a zone, you put a guy like Geller at the high post who can hit the midi or dump it down to Max with Stebner and Abinian to kick out at shooting. It's a
yeah.
nightmare. And one thing about David Katz teams, Malka and Katz will never play zone. So they're not going to play zone. And that's
Oh,
why I
okay.
got the
I
Heat.
didn't know about that. All right, they're gonna have a tough time then.
Oh,
They're gonna
shit.
have to
Okay.
play if they're not playing zone. They're gonna have to play a tight, either half court press, full court kind of quasi press. They're gonna have to do something to throw them off. I
Hawks,
don't think they can
Raptors.
just. Yeah,
Let's
talk to
see
me.
it. We got
Talk to me these teams.
Jordan Hode
Oh,
versus Noam
I mean,
Banamy, Adam Dietz, Jack
I
Dietz,
mean,
Josh
do
Dietz.
we? I feel like we can just skip this game. I
No,
mean, come on.
we got to pick.
All right. I mean, unfortunately, I think Dietz did not do a great job drafting. Even if he was gonna pick his bros, which that's fine. I'm sure they're good. He's a good player. Just like I think the Levine's bros are good, just like the Bentime bros are good, just like Reinhardt. Usually the brothers in this league are good because one of them can play ball. That means they all can play to a certain extent. Um, the issue is that the Hode brothers are also really good. And they got even more talent than the Hode brothers. They got Gutman on top of them. And then they have Gralnick and I don't know who else they have, but really just
Hilowitz.
those three. Huh? They have
Hilowitz.
Hillwitz who could stretch the floor. Who else do they have?
Billy Krause.
Billy Krause, and they have another big. So when Gutman gets tired, they have another big they can throw in. They just have too much firepower. They know how to play together, the Hodes, and they're going to be a really good team and really tough to beat. Yeah, I don't think this Hawks team stands a chance.
I have to agree with you, but I promised I would zag. I think the way the Hawks have to take them is just get up and down. You have Bay Nash super fast, and Benemy could bang with Gutman. If you could get up and down and make this a really high possession, a ton of possessions, a lot of shots, a lot of running, a lot of gunning, a lot of possessions, a lot of threes, a lot of fast pace. I think because even though that kind of helps a Jordan Hode and a Justin Hode and even a Josh Hilowitz, I don't think that helps a Yehuda Gutman, a Billy Krauts, and a Barth Gralnick. So if you're trying to take the advantages away from the Hodes team and add the advantages to the Hawks. Again, I think it's a stretch for the Hawks to win this one. I think it's a really bad matchup. But if I'm going to try to minimize the other team's advantages against me and maximize my advantages that I might have, is I would want to try to get Jordan and Justin to play in a game that they like, which is a fast-paced game, thus isolating maybe some of their bigs by getting the ball up and down the floor, by getting a lot of threes, a lot of jumpers, a lot of layups, a lot of outlets, run. See if we could tire Gutman out. See if we could put him in a high pick and roll to get him in some foul trouble. It's going to be tough. I have to pick the Hawks, as I said I was going to zag, but difficult one. We'll see how good the other beats are. I haven't seen them play.
We'll see. We'll see. Listen, I picked some underdogs too, so
Well,
to make it a little
we're
fair.
going to mark it down, and winner gets a case of beer.
Yeah, let's do a weekly and a season tracking.
All right, you got it. Miller High Life. I
All right.
think I got this. You gave me way too many of them. You gave me some
All right,
really
let's see.
gimmies.
Let's see. Next week we tip off. I'm
All
excited.
right, I'll see you guys. Have fun. I got to go put my son to bed.
I gotta go play
Go
some
Knicks.
ball. Peace.
All right, peace.